We're going to give you our first run impressions with a full review to come soon of the Mizuno Wave Inspire 17. It has a double fan wave plate, a layer of energy foam below that, with more standard foam above that. It has a big 38-28 stack height and a 12 millimeter drop, which allows it actually to move along quite well. As you can see, it has a deep decoupling groove at the heel. There's plenty of rubber, and this is a great quality shoe. Both shoes weighed to the gram the same. So I'm going to take them out on a run or two here along the New Hampshire coast and tell you how they fit and how they ride. Okay, let's talk a bit about the fit of our Wave Inspire. So I'm at an 8.5, which is my usual true to size, and I gotta say, just impeccable. No issues whatsoever. It's a fairly dense engineered mesh, decently soft. The toe bumper is just about right. The height just perfect. The tongue, there's no gusset, stayed put. I laced them up once and off I went. I think the side panels, you can see triangular panels, help with the support here. On the medial side, they're beefier. You can see there's kind of an extra layer of overlay just to the outside of the red. Now let's talk about the ride and the wave here. Okay, let's talk about the ride of our Wave Inspire 17. There's going to be a bit of noise because we have a tanker landing at the airbase, but okay. Well, first, of course, you absolutely notice the wave plate. It looks kind of nasty and rough looking. That's the medial side, and over here, the lateral side. But here's what happens, what I noticed. You see there's an incredibly deep crash pad and decoupling groove. The ride was very, very forgiving at the heel. This isn't a super softy, but there's plenty of bounce from the new layer of energy foam in here, in combination with the wave. Now, what you really feel here is a sense of total kind of consistency from the heel to about here. In other words, you don't have the sensation of any of the plate at all. You don't have the sensation of any medial post. You don't have the sensation of any rails. So it's very consistent. Obviously it's stable, but it's not in any way obnoxious. So there's no firmer kind of foam post feel or plastic rail feel. You'll see here, I mentioned earlier, there's more support here on the medial side. You can see how there's extra kind of lamination compared to the lateral side. Well, the hold here and the stability, a good part of it comes from this incredibly nice upper. Now, how did they run? Well, I found that as I picked up the pace, I got past kind of this consistent block. That slower pace sensation of not quite moving off to the heel as quick as I might like might also come from, notice how flat the geometry is at the rear, which also, of course, contributes to the stability. So maybe a little more sculpting of that kind of little more rocker effect might help that, but you do have that super deep groove through the bottom. Very cool looking. Very forgiving, and was able to get onto what's a really very nice, incredibly well cushioned and quite agile forefoot. Now, what you really have to realize here is this is a 12 millimeter drop shoe. So once you can get up past this area here, so in other words, at slower paces, most of us probably land further back on the heel, you really drive down forward. So what's kind of interesting is my fellow reviewer here, John Tribia, who's a former U.S. trail champion, former vertical kilometer champion, and also a super fast road runner, was the only one to review the 16, and he's always loved the Wave Inspire. So I was tempted, and I'm not disappointed. Now, there are a few things to note, which we covered in the first part of the video. One is the weight here, 10.8 ounces or 306 grams, which appears to have gone up from about 10.2 in the prior version. Now, at Running Warehouse, they call out the stack height here of 3826, which is huge. That's a big stack height and 12 millimeter drop. And there is cushioning for days here, no question about it. So the wave plate is called the double fan wave. And we've got the Enerzy below it and the U4IC above it. So Enerzy is said to be 17% softer and, 17% springier and 15% softer than their prior foams. And this is a really pleasant feel to it. And I've also just yesterday ran in the Wave Sky 4 Wave Knit, whose heel felt firmer, whose transition felt not quite as smooth, and that's a yet heavier shoe. I think even for neutral runners, this is the Mizuno to look at. Now, who's it good for? Well, it's good as a daily trainer. The quality here is amazing. Yeah, they do weigh 10.8 ounces, but they weigh the same left and right to the gram, as did the Wave Sky 4 Wave Knit. The build quality is just fantastic here. There is tons and tons of rubber. You can see that deep decoupling line there, which really helps soften the landing but keep things stable. And there you can see the wave plate showing up through it. If I was going to change something, I'd probably end the effect of the wave plate a little earlier, but that's my preference. As I picked up the pace, I got past that. But yes, this is a stability shoe, so there is going to be some effect, of course, in stabilizing the foot from the rear towards the midfoot. But as a neutral runner, I'm enjoying this shoe. So it's $135. It's available now. Just an impeccably, beautifully executed, more traditional 12 millimeter stability, light pronation control shoe. It doesn't have a post feel, even though we do have our double fan wave plate. It doesn't have a rail feel. Very smooth rear sensations here from the implementation of the plate and the two foams. So John and I are going to review this in writing real soon. We also have a review for the Wave Sky 4 Wave Knit on the channel, but I prefer this shoe. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you'll also consider subscribing.